This team's getting hot at the right time. This feels like an Aaron Harrison. This is going to be a great story. Kentucky might not even have to win the SEC championship to get in. Yeah, so basically just take everything I said last week and throw it in the garbage because, man, was I wrong. Happy Monday, BBN. Welcome into another edition of the KSR Weekly Round-Up. As always, I am Brent Wainscott. This edition is brought to you by Justice Dental. And this Kentucky basketball team, man, they continue to absolutely fascinate me. 1 week I'm in here and we're throwing daggers. We're having a good time. We're making fun of Chris Mack. We're saying we're going to get an at-large bid at the NCAA tournament, and that just blew up right in my face. First and foremost, Joe Lunardi goes on Twitter this week and says Kentucky has to win the SEC tournament to get in anyways. And then they go and lose to Florida, basically sealing the deal that Kentucky has to win the SEC tournament to get into the big dance. So let's recap this week in Kentucky basketball. First, their game against Texas A&M on Tuesday got canceled, so then they had to wait 6 days before they could even play again. They play Florida on Saturday, on Senior Day, and lose 71-67. The first time Kentucky's lost back-to-back senior nights in over a century, and Kentucky now is staring at a season where they have yet to win 4 straight games, and now they've got to do the impossible and win 4 straight games to get into the NCAA tournament. Now here's the outlook on the rest of the season. Kentucky does have a matchup against Ole Miss on Tuesday night at 9 o'clock. That game is basically just not important at this point except for SEC tournament seeding. Then they'll finish their season on against South Carolina on Saturday at Rupp Arena. There was talks that Kentucky was going to maybe fit in a game with Houston or Gonzaga. A top-ranked team was going to come to Rupp Arena and help Kentucky build up their at-large bid resume, but that all fell apart after Kentucky lost to Florida. Now, there is still a chance for Kentucky to get a double bye, albeit a slim one. So let's run through the things that has to happen for Kentucky to get the double bye in the NCAA or the SEC tournament, rather. First things first, Vanderbilt must beat LSU on Tuesday. However, Vanderbilt is without Dylan DeSue and Scottie Pippen Jr., so that's a relatively tall task. However, if the Commodores can pull it off, you're looking at 5 very likely scenarios. Kentucky can absolutely beat Ole Miss. Florida can 100% beat Missouri. Kentucky, of course, can beat South Carolina. And then Missouri can beat LSU, and Florida can absolutely beat Tennessee as well. So let's say all these things do happen and Kentucky finds themselves as the 4th seed in the SEC tournament because they do hold the tiebreaker over LSU and Tennessee. Well, that's good news. You know, you only have to win 3 games to go to the NCAA tournament, considering the fact Kentucky hasn't won 4 straight games all year. But you do play Alabama that Saturday in the semifinal, a team that handed Kentucky their worst loss in Rupp Arena in the John Calipari era, and that they went and lost in Tuscaloosa as well. But some may say, you know, if you're going to win the SEC tournament, you got to beat Alabama anyways, so why not just get it out the way? I, however, think it's probably in Kentucky's best interest to find themselves at the 7th seed. Don't play in the late game on Thursday night. Avoid Alabama in your bracket. Hope they get beat by like Tennessee or something, and then who knows what can happen. But Kentucky needs a lot of luck. And hey, this is March. I mean, who's to say they can't get it done? But for right now, this team just continues to fascinate all of us. 2 games to go in the regular season, SEC tournament, and just what a year it's been. Now over to Memorial Coliseum we go, and we think we're going to go and see at least one Kentucky basketball team won on senior night. That wasn't the case either, as Kentucky suffers a bad loss to Ole Miss on senior night, and just something has happened with this Kentucky basketball team over the last month or so. They have now avoided getting the double bye in the SEC tournament. They are probably locked into the 5th seed right now, which is really disappointing considering they've got the best player in college basketball right now with Ryan Howard, and they looked really strong all year long, but this last month they've tripped up so many times. They're going to have to play for a higher seed in the NCAA tournament. Now, this team can still make a run. Like I said, they've got Ryan Howard, Chastity Patterson is great. Kyra Elsie has done a great job with this team. But they just keep suffering these bad losses down the stretch, which will hurt their NCAA seeding. However, they still are going to go into the tournament. The Big Blue Nation will have one team to root for in the tournament. But it's been a bad month all around for Kentucky basketball, men and women's. So, like I said, this is March. It's been a year since quarantine. It's been weird. It's been fascinating. Let's let's see if the women can't turn it around. And while things might be struggling on the hardwood for the Cats, if you jump over to the diamond, things are going great. Kentucky baseball and softball are both undefeated. Kentucky softball actually just pitched their 19th no-hitter in school history on Sunday. Grace Ballman and Miranda Stoddard combined for the no-hitter, and then baseball is 4-0 on the year. They will play EKU at Kentucky Proud Park on Tuesday. That is all the time we have for a fascinating week in the KSR Weekly Roundup. As always, I'm Brent Wainscott. I will see you guys next week. Hopefully it's after 2 Kentucky wins, and hey, it's March. Let's get crazy. Let's go on a run for Kentucky. And who knows what can happen? It's tournament time. We've been in a year of wearing masks and quarantine and all that. We're about to reach 365 on that. So let's tuck it away. Let's put the basketball season behind us. All on the SEC tournament. And hey, who's to say we can't get it done? I'm Brent Wainscott. Have a good week, everybody. Go Cats.